page. So, pwede na. And the Hi everyone, my name is Chaps. I am MissInformation.blog on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and my own website. I'm glad to see you again today. For this video, I'm going to share with you my Guerlain Makeup collection and why I love these products and what I don't like about them and how I use them. So let's start with this Parure Gold foundation. It has SPF 30 and I am in shade 00 beige. What I like about this foundation is the fact that it has SPF 30, it has gold sparkles, and though it does not have a cool undertone, it actually matches my skin tone. So this is beige 00, and so normally it's supposed to be neutral in skin tone, but it works well with me. I actually have cool undertone, but it works better. It does not oxidize, and it has a very good coverage. It has a medium coverage, it has a satiny texture, and really leaves your skin glowing. The texture is not too thick and not too thin either. Plus, though it has a strong scent, I really love and enjoy it, and so far I don't have any allergic reaction from it. I love its packaging. It really means luxury in a bottle, and at the same time it just describes what's in this foundation. It has 24K karat gold, and the fact that it's actually long wearing, around 6 to 8 hours, it really is a good foundation. Now what I don't like about it is the fact that it tends to look cakey depending on the primer that I use. And lately, we're in a colder season here in our country, so my skin is really dry, and this foundation makes my skin flaky. Before I touch up, I still have to remove my whole makeup, foundation and primer included, so I can remove the flakes and dry, patchy areas of the skin. And though this actually has good coverage, the problem is that it showed a very significant weakness in cold season. Now, I can't really say that I have to let go of this foundation simply because I really love its coverage, plus the fact that it does not give me any acne or any skin irritation. The only thing that I really don't like about it is the fact that it cannot stand a cold season. It will just leave your T-zone more dry, and at the same time, if you feel the need to hydrate more, this is not a good foundation to use because it will just leave your makeup cakey. Though I love the fact that it can cover my flaws and it does not clog my pores, I just can't stand the fact that it doesn't help my skin's very weakness, which is dry and acne prone skin. Now, how to use this foundation? It's simple. I just apply the primer first and then apply it on my face and on my neck, and afterwards I use a powder on my whole face and neck. I don't really have a trick in using this foundation, but the best tip in using this foundation, especially if you have very dry skin, is that you use a very hydrating primer. If you happen to have a primer that's also not good in hydrating your skin, you really have to remove your whole foundation and primer just to touch up, simply because you really have to go back from the start. Every time it makes your skin red and patchy. It's good especially in summertime because it's very lightweight, but at the end of the day, you have to really reconsider, especially if you have dry skin. Another tip, be very careful of flashback because it has SPF 30. Though it's not that high for it to cause a flashback, there's a chance that there will be a flashback depending on the primer and the powder you use. Next is the Meteorites. This is the light revealing pearls of powder. At first I thought this is a highlighter, but I'm actually calling it now setting powder. Let me explain. So the best thing about this Guerlain Meteorites are the following. One, its smell. It's very perfumey. If you happen to have allergies and perfumes, then definitely this is not for you. I love the fact that it makes me feel luxurious and really elegant whenever I apply it on my face. Now, this did not work really well with my skin at first. Number one, when I used it, I was very allergic to the dust that these balls make. So it actually has balls that you have to shake so that it can create tiny dust of highlights or meteorites that you have to apply in your face. So basically, when I first took my brush and sweep it all over the balls, these meteorites they call it, I was actually sneezing and my look was ruined the whole day. My nose was red, everything is dry and patchy, and I had teary eyes. So I had to find a solution to use this. What I did is that I shook this for like 10 minutes or so, and then once I collected a good amount of dust in this jar, transfer the pearl from this jar to another container. And so what's going to happen is that you'll only see the dust from the pearls. So after shaking it for like 10 minutes, you'll be able to collect a good amount of dust that you can actually use for at least a month or two. And so I use a small spoon that I usually get from creams. It's usually a freebie. And so I get the dust, or technically the setting powder, and then I put it on a small setting powder container, which I actually have, the one that's from Fenty. And then I transfer it to another container and then put the strainer on top of the setting powder container. And now all I have to do is to transfer it like this and then just use it as setting powder. So I just have to get my brush, and so that's the time that I'm gonna get my Guerlain brush. This is specifically for meteorites, and then sweep it in and put it on my face like that. Okay, so that's easier, right? No sneezing, no allergies. I don't have to really smell the pearls directly, and the best part about it is that I am actually efficiently using this makeup. It's perfect. Now, this is one reason why I'm actually still using this product. But if I haven't thought about that, I would have stopped using it and you won't see it on my vlog. So technically, it cost me to save the product and at the same time efficiently use this makeup without any waste. They said you can use this makeup for years, and I think I've been using it for like 3 months now, and I can agree with that. I don't waste any pearl, and I'm actually using everything because I turn it into dust before I use it as a setting powder. What do I like about this meteorite? Number one is this jar. It's very luxurious. I love the packaging. I love the smell. I love the fact that it's not just a setting powder, but also a highlighter. Now, why am I calling it as a setting powder? I'm not really using it as a highlighter. I don't think it is actually glowing enough, or it's gonna pass my standards for me to actually call it a highlighter. For me, it's still a setting powder simply because it serves its purpose more if I call it as a setting powder. It helps in cleaning my makeup and making sure that the streaks of my blush and bronzer are even out, and it also makes my skin look glowing and fresh. I still call it as a highlighter slash setting powder though, because we can't remove the fact it still leaves a subtle glow, like a fairy dust glow. But you cannot depend your glow or your highlight to this setting powder. Now, the question is, since you already use it as a setting powder, is this good enough to actually work as a setting powder that will make your makeup last longer? No, Unfortunately not. It is so lightweight to actually make my makeup last longer. The thing is that I'm not really a fan of the no makeup look. And so technically if you're a fan of that look, then probably this is already enough. But basically, if you want to make your makeup last for hours, you still need your staple setting powder to hold your makeup for hours. Now, this is only needed as a backup. I usually apply it on the top of my highlighter, bronzer, and blush to clean my overall face and to set my makeup with highlight and glow. So basically, that's the finale. Instead of using a setting spray, I use this as a setting powder. You just have to be very careful though, because this is not your usual setting powder. It can change the color of your bronzer, blush, and highlighter. So if you overdo it or if you over swipe the brush on your face, there's a tendency that the blush, the bronzer, and the highlighter will look lighter to the point that it won't be seen anymore. And so it is a must that just apply a little. Don't sweep the brush on your whole face that much. On the other hand, when it's time to touch up, you don't need your main setting powder. All you need is this Meteorite to set your makeup, just to use it as a backup to clean your makeup, just to make sure that your makeup will last for more hours. The best part about it is that it does not make your makeup cakey, nor does it feel heavy or thick. I just like that it feels very lightweight, as if it's not doing anything on your skin. But once you stop doing it, you'll know that it actually is important in your makeup routine. Now, there are also some things that I don't like about it, like scent. If I did not come up with another way of using this pearls of powder highlighter, I won't be able to use it at all because of the strong scent and the dust that it accumulates over time. Good thing I was able to think about this, and I actually have an extra small setting powder container. But what if I don't have one, right? So at the end of the day, it's more like it is actually good in making your makeup look clean and glowing. But if you think you're allergic to dust or to perfume, then you can already pass on this makeup. What I also don't like about it is that you have to buy a separate brush. And I do like it though. Like, I really like it when I first bought it. And I really think that this is the perfect brush for Meteorites. The only problem is that when I already tried the Chanel powder brush, I find this very rough and too small to use. And at the same time, I feel itchy whenever I use it. It's good, it doesn't cause me acne. It's just that now that I'm comparing it with Chanel, especially when the price comparison is too close in terms of their brushes. Guerlain did a good job in coming up with good brushes, but maybe they can do better next time. Also, another thing that I like about the Meteorites is the fact that there are actually different shades that you can create depending on the shade that you bought. I actually bought Clear or Light, that's why it makes my skin glowing. I believe the other shades can actually make your skin a little bit bronze or pink or green depending on their collection. But so far I'm loving this. I really do believe that it can last you for a year or so because you can save up a lot, especially if you use my technique. Please let me know if you did this technique, and I hope you also follow me, guys. Please. Thank you. Next is Guerlain Rouge. So I have 4 containers or 4 cases. I have this python, and then this pink rhinestone, and then this houndstooth, and then this ruby case. So I bought this houndstooth and this rhinestone. It's really nice. And I got these for free. Okay, let's first start with the cases. I love the fact the cases are really heavy. If I'll go out of the house, it's really the perfect lipstick to show off to anyone. It's really good, it's unique, it's lovely. if there's actually an advantage slash disadvantage, is actually the fact that they are very, very heavy. I also like that it actually comes with a mirror inside, but I don't find it useful simply because they are too small. Plus the fact that I'm very dizzy every time I try to use this lipstick case. I still don't find it useful. I love that the lipstick cases are actually really nice. They're actually the best way to combine fashion and beauty all together. Like if your outfit is pink, you can choose a pink case. If your outfit is black, then you can choose a black case. It's as simple as that. But at the end of the day, we are going to look at the formula inside. Now, they have satin, matte, and velvet lipsticks. They also have lip balms and other formulas. But let me just talk about Guerlain Rouge. So I love the velvet texture, the velvet formula. One that is purple brown. It's so hard to describe it. I really find its formula really good because of its hard texture and its ability to moisturize your lips. And I also like the fact that it has perfume. But what I don't like about it is that it is really patchy. Believe it or not, you need to apply and add a lot of coating on your lips just so it will show pigment and you can cover up the patchiness on your lips. But then it will cause dryness and flakes on your lips as well. It is good, but you really have to use a good lip primer. Like right now, I'm supposed to wear the Guerlain Rouge Red Wine lipstick, but I wasn't able to. I'm not using my irresistible lip oil, and so because of that, my lips are not hydrated enough for me to use this velvet lipstick. And so I actually have a wound here on the lips and I can't cover it up because of the patchy formula of Guerlain. I really want to like this product because it really smells good. It is hydrating. I mean, it is very velvety and yet it is hydrating. But the fact that it's patchy and you need a lot for it to show consistent pigment all over your lips. That's the part where I fall out of love to this lipstick. All of the Rouge Velvet lipsticks have the same formula, but I just want to show you the lipsticks that I have. So this one is the red wine that they have. I like it because depending on the lighting, it looks red, but overall, it has the same advantage and disadvantage as well. I'm not really sure. Like, it's not consistently good and it's not consistently bad. There are days when it can completely cover my lips, but once you start eating or drinking, it's gonna be patchy and it tends to do it the whole day. So be very careful because it seems like the packaging is causing you to buy a lot of lipsticks, but the inside or the formula inside it is not as good as what's on the outside. Now, how do I use those lipsticks well or better? So far, the best combo is to use the irresistible lip oil and then wipe it off with a wet wipe and then apply the lipstick. It makes my lipstick last longer, at least, and I avoid drinking water or eating something as much as possible because that's where the patchiness starts. If there's oil or gel or any formula left on your lips and you immediately apply the Guerlain lipstick, it's gonna leave your lips patchy, dry, and really give you the worst look of the day. Now, last but not the least is this primer. This is a sample. I'm supposed to buy one, but I wasn't able to simply because in the middle of me using it, after 2 months of loving it, I ended up falling out of love with it simply because the cold season came. When the cold season came, I noticed that this cracks my skin. It causes me acne, and not on the face or the neck, but actually on the chest area. And it gives me the worst acne. It makes my T-zone area really dry, making the Parure Gold Foundation more dry than ever. I actually have a tip for you. The best way to make sure that this will work well with your skin is to apply Guerlain watery oil on your skin as a primer of this primer. It's like you have to apply a Guerlain watery oil as a pre-skincare before applying this on your face. The watery oil will absorb the alcohol, the gel, and any dryness that this primer may cause you, and that will stop any possibility of acne, dryness, or flakiness. At first, I was actually so in love with it simply because it has gold. It has tiny specks of gold. I love the cooling effect it gives. I love the fact that my skin is matte whenever I apply it on. There was a time when I had to remove the watery oil in my skincare and makeup routine simply because I just thought, is the watery oil not working anymore? So I removed it in my routine. And yes, the acne stopped. I stopped breaking out. But this one, left alone with my foundation, caused me dry T-zone, red and patchy areas on my skin, really big chunks of dry and irritated parts all over my face and chest area. I was actually struggling with it for like a month or so until I realized I think this is the one that's causing it. Because one day, as soon as I applied it, I felt something painful, like I actually put alcohol gel on my face. And that's the reality I haven't noticed at first. This is actually gel based, and it feels like alcohol every time I apply it. It smells like alcohol as well. Alcohol that's perfume. But I did not feel that at first because I was actually applying the watery oil. And I realized that this is the one that's causing me irritation. I immediately stopped using it and I bought a primer from Chanel, and it's now working better than ever. It's clear with me that I have a very dry and sensitive skin, and so I cannot use anything that is alcohol or gel paste. The thing is that Guerlain is actually a good brand and they have good products, but we have to accept the fact that they have products that are actually alcohol/gel paste. And usually if it's gel or silicone based, it is not good for the skin, and it tends to really cause acne, especially to those who have acne prone skin. Now, despite its ability to actually give you a good canvas and for you to apply makeup smoothly and for your makeup to last for hours, the problem is that because it is actually gel based and it's actually drying because it has alcohol in it, and it cannot stand alone without the watery oil. Actually, if you check the ingredients, it doesn't have any ingredients that will help in moisturizing your skin. And so I realized that maybe Guerlain is actually suggesting to use the watery oil because they know that this is the major disadvantage or weakness of your. I'm actually using Chanel all over my face. So right now I have Chanel primer, Chanel Sublimage foundation, and a whole lot more. But I'm not experiencing the dryness anymore. It's still a cold season right now here in our country. No skin irritation, and I don't feel the need to remove my makeup every time I touch up. So earlier today, when I have to touch up, I just actually applied the concealer on my face and then added the Meteorite on top of my makeup. Then that's it. I don't even have to add a blush or a bronzer because it's still on my face and it did not fade, nor does it make my makeup cakey. For a few months now, I'm actually at the phase of trying out different products from Guerlain and Chanel. I'm trying to mix and match different products from different brands simply because for some reason, as soon as I consistently use my hair oil, I had a major breakout. And so one by one, I removed the skincare I use from Guerlain until I finally came up with a good routine, and I came to the point that I have to change my makeup routine as well. As much as I would love to grow old with Guerlain, The bad and sad part about it is that I have a very sensitive skin. For me to stick to one brand or a certain product for a long time, I think I'm meant to change my routine every other time. But I'm still doing my best to stick to one routine for at least a year or so. I'm hoping for the best, and I'm gonna share with you my skincare routine very, very soon. So please watch out and stay tuned, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Now, before I let you go, of course, there's hashtag MissInformationLessons. People tend to be envious, especially to those who they don't know in social media. I myself actually experienced that. In Filipino, we tend to say sana all. Or in English, that means I hope I experience the same thing. We tend to wish what is not meant to be ours, or we tend to wish what we also see from other people.
Ow!
Not knowing or thinking, maybe I don't have that because I did not experience the same things this person experienced. Maybe that's not my destiny because I'm not doing the same thing this person is doing. And maybe I shouldn't be envious simply because God prepared a different route for me. Though I understand that envy can actually be a good thing, especially when we use it as a motivation for us to be a better person and to succeed better in life. But the reality is that sometimes we are envious to people who we don't really know. And those people can also be the ones who aren't even telling the truth or just living their fake life on social media. So at the end of the day, check your heart and see, do I just follow this person and feel envious every time he or she posts? Do I feel good every time this person posts something about himself or herself? Or do I feel happy whenever this person posts? Check your heart and check what you feel every time you see a certain post. Maybe it's time for you to have a social media fast, or maybe it's time for you to check your heart.
I'm sorry that people are so jealous of me, but I can't help it that I'm popular.
And see if you're still contented or your envious heart is already eating you. Our blessings are sometimes delayed because our hearts are not in a good position. And so when we feel that all we do is compare, let's ask God to change our hearts and renew our mindset so we can just focus on the things that God wants us to do and be thankful to whatever blessing we have today. We are so blessed. The mere fact that we're still alive, healthy, and so much loved by a living God, we are already considered blessed. And I pray that you will always remember that. If ever you have questions and you want to connect with me, please don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm MissInformationLessons, and I hope to see you again next time. Thank you for joining me again today. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye.
It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thanks, Grandma.
Connect with me on Facebook, DM me on Instagram, or learn more about me on my blog, MissInformation.blog. See ya!